Let's visit Acorn Pond.
Spring at Acorn Pond. Who has a scaly tail? Please try again. Who has a scaly tail? Correct. The muskrat has a scaly tail. Who has babies in a nest? Please try again. Who has babies in a nest? Who has babies in a nest? Good job. The rabbit has babies in a nest. Who eats salamander eggs? Correct. The sunfish eats salamander eggs. Who lays eggs? Please try again. Who lays eggs? That's right. The robin lays eggs. Who has babies in a nest? Who has babies in a nest? That's right. The squirrel has babies in a nest. Who uses its tongue in smelling? Good job. The snake uses its tongue in smelling. Who has stripes? That's right. The skunk has stripes. Who cannot fly? That's right. The raccoon cannot fly. Who carries eggs on her swimmerettes? Try again, please. Who carries eggs on her swimmerettes? Good job. The crayfish carries eggs on her swimmerettes. Who lays eggs in the pond? Please try again. Who lays eggs in the pond? Correct. The frog lays eggs in the pond. Who lays eggs? Please try again. Who lays eggs? Please try again. Who lays eggs? Please try again. Who lays eggs? Correct. The monarch butterfly lays eggs. Who sleeps in a nest lined with fur? Correct. The rabbit sleeps in a nest lined with fur. Who hatched from an egg? Who hatched from an egg? That's right. The salamander tadpole hatched from an egg. Who has a scaly tail? Who has a scaly tail? That's right. The snake has a scaly tail. Who cannot fly? Who cannot fly? Correct. The shrew cannot fly. Who eats salamander eggs? That's right. The crayfish eats salamander eggs. Who lays eggs in the pond? Who stays in the water year-round? Correct. The sunfish stays in the water year-round. Who has fur? That's right. The deer has fur. Who uses its tail for a blanket? Correct. The squirrel uses its tail for a blanket. Who uses its tail for a blanket? Good job. The raccoon uses its tail for a blanket. Who hibernates? Good job. The frog hibernates. Who swims in the pond in winter? That's right. The sunfish swims in the pond in winter. Who swims in the pond in winter? Correct. The muskrat swims in the pond in winter. Who lives in a lodge in winter? Please try again. Who lives in a lodge in winter? Try again, please. Who lives in a lodge in winter? That's right. The muskrat lives in a lodge in winter. Who hibernates? Please try again. Who hibernates? Good job. The snake hibernates. Who eats bark in winter? That's right. The deer eats bark in winter. Who eats bark in winter? Correct. The rabbit eats bark in winter. Who spends the winter in the pond mud? Correct. The frog spends the winter in the pond mud.